Hi, everybody. Laura here. Thanks for joining me. Today, I have the great pleasure of joining Sandy Allnock as well as a bunch of very talented designers. We're all helping Sandy promote her brand spanking new Hex Chart. Here's a little peek at the Hex Chart that Sandy has created, as well as the project I'm going to be creating on this video. I am using the Simon Says Stamp Artful Flowers stamp set, and what I'm doing here is just stamping a bunch of those blooms on some full sticky Post-it note, because what I'm doing, I'm going to cut those out and make some quick and easy masks. I'm not taking a whole bunch of care to cut these out perfectly. I just want some quick and easy masks. I'm going to stamping a bunch of these flowers along the border of my card, which, by the way, I am making a smaller size card. This is 3.5 by 5. And so what I'm doing now is I'm stamping my sentiment. This is also in that Artful Flowers stamp set. And normally when I make a card, I usually stamp my sentiment last, but for this particular card, I'm shaking it up and I'm stamping my sentiment first because I really want to make sure that my flowers all kind of like frame the sentiment so it looks like it's just nestled right in there, cozy and cuddly and all warm and fuzzy. And no, it's not warm and fuzzy. I just want to frame the sentiment, okay? And so now I'm just stamping away, stamping and masking. I only have 3 masks. I didn't want to take the time to cut out a bunch of masks because I'm just lazy like that. So I'll just try to make it work. Now, if you didn't want to take the time to do all the stamping and masking and whatnot, you could very easily just use the coordinating dies that come with this stamp set, and just die cut a bunch of those flowers, color them with your Copics, and you could put them all in with foam tape or adhere them with Tombow Mono adhesive, and just do the exact same layout that I'm doing. You just wouldn't have to do all the stamping and masking. You just have to crank your big shot till it's smoking. No, but either way you go, I like to do this masking thing because I like to keep things one layer, although this isn't going to be one layer. It's going to be two. This is a little panel, and I'm going to pop it up on a card base, but I could have made this one layer if I wanted to. Anyhow, so I'm just moving along here, and then I will begin coloring with my Copics. Now let's talk about the hex chart. I know for a fact that this hex chart was a labor of love for Sandy. She's been working on it for a long time and really well thought out and gone over the colors to make sure that they all relate well to one another. I think this is going to be a must-have tool for all the people who love to color with Copics. It's going to be something that I'm going to turn to time and time again to see which colors, because it always isn't the numbering system. I get tripped up on that sometimes. I want to buy my Copic markers with the numbers that go together, but it not always necessarily. I can't even talk. It's not always true, and you will see that with Sandy's chart. She really has studied this thing out, and she gives you the best, colors how they relate to one another, and so you can know which markers you want to purchase and which colors that you like, and on and on and on. So I'm moving on here. I'm coloring my blooms with Copics. You can see the colors. I've got the caps there. Normally what I do is use 3 shades. I like a light, a medium, and a dark. I try to stay in the same color family. But okay, so for that example, I'm using the pink. I've got the RV29, and then I got the RV25, and then I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? I have an RV21, so I kind of got to work with what I have. Listen, I do not have the full collection like Sandy, but I can see here now that what I need to buy is I need to buy one of those that's nearby that RV25. Yeah, because I need that. I need them all is what I need, and I'm slowly but surely growing my collection. It takes a long time for Mama, but yeah, I'm just working with what I have. And I think this would be really great. I'm going to probably print out a blank one and then fill in with the markers that I own. And then I can compare to the one that Sandy, by the way, Sandy filled out that one for me. She colored it in and mailed it to me. I was very lucky to get one already filled out by Sandy. I think she is also going to have one that's printable. You could print it, or you could purchase one of hers that's been filled in, and you could also purchase the blank one that you can fill in yourself, which is what I'm definitely going to do. So I can see how pitiful my collection is when I go to fill in this hex chart. I know I'm going to just start crying when I see how little that it fills in the chart. But okay, anyhow, moving on from my pity party, moving along with coloring and yada yada and on and so forth. So okay, got that all filled in. I popped it up with some foam tape, and then now what I'm going to do to just finish this off is take a little bit of liquid pearls and opal and just kind of just take some little dots on the inside of those flowers. I couldn't decide what I want to do in the flowers. You could definitely color them in and add some glossy accents, or you could even do black liquid pearls. That would be cool. But I chose to do this kind of white opal, kind of pops with the color. Anyhow, that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your hop. And thank you so much, Sandy, for putting in so much effort to make this chart for all of us to use. See you next time.